Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins in the 20th century. People with superpowers became important for work. The government asked those with special abilities to register and help build Lincoln City. But as more machines took over jobs, there was less need for superpowered workers. This led to fewer opportunities for them, and some turned to crime. A group called the Trust started using powered humans to make a dangerous drug called Psych. This caused a lot of problems, and people started calling for new laws to control superpowers. The police began using drones and robots, called guardians, to watch and catch powered individuals working without permission. The story begins with a lady, Mary, sleeping on a sofa. Her son, Connor, wakes her up, mentioning she fell asleep in her work uniform. While making breakfast, Connor notices strange markings on his mom's hands. Mary tries to hide the pain, but washes her hands, revealing they hurt. He finds scary letters about overdue payments, real adult horrors for him. Despite her worsening condition, she brushes off the concern, assuring him she's okay. It's revealed that she has a brain tumor affecting her superpowers, causing unpredictable ice abilities. We find Connor in a creepy waiting room. He fills out some forms, and stops at a question about having superpowers. We don't know his answer as a lady calls his name, and he quickly follows her. Later in his car, he hears the news reporting bad things happening in the world. The radio mentions briefly that people with powers can be dangerous. He gets to work an hour late, and his boss gives him only a half day. Connor complains, but his boss simply says, "I'm only giving you a half day." Disappointed, Connor walks off and talks to a coworker about the job interview. While chatting, they hear an approaching drone outside, assessing the area. Shortly after, the cops tell the workers with power to leave the site, and get a permit to keep working. During the investigation, authorities find out that one of the workers has an arrest warrant. When the cops try to arrest him, he shoots fire from his hands and tries to escape. Guardians drop down from a drone, and shoot him until he's dead. In another part of Lincoln City, the police raid the apartment of a man. The Guardian breaks the door, but the suspect, a Class 4 brawn, disables the robot by throwing a disc at its neck. The suspect tries to escape through the window, but Officer Park enters the room and threatens to shoot him. During the search, they find a room filled with superpowered individuals being used for their spinal fluid. The police also discover bags of Psych, linked to a crime lord named Marcus Sutcliffe. Meanwhile, Connor visits his mom at the grocery store, where her boss scolds her for accidentally freezing sauce and dropping it. Mary Reed, who can control ice, is struggling with her abilities due to the brain tumor. Connor gets angry at how Dave talks to his mom, and almost uses his powers. The boss tells them to leave the store. On the way home, Connor urges his mom to start chemo, but Mary says they can't afford it. The next day, while waiting for a job on a street corner, Connor sees a truck from Lincoln Power. His friend Travis warns him not to get involved, because they're part of Sutcliffe's crew. The van comes over, and the driver says he needs an electric, Class 2 or above. Connor hesitates but agrees to go for $200 up front. Inside the van, a silent guy named Freddie, who is a brawn, signals Connor to wear a safety vest. The driver, Garrett, takes Connor to a chemical plant to disable an electric fence. Connor tries cutting the wires but gets shocked, so he decides to overload them. A pyro named Maddie melts the lock, allowing them to enter. While loading chemical barrels, a guard shows up and tries to call for backup. Garrett uses his telekinetic power to take the guard's radio, and the guard gives in, saying he didn't see anything. Leaving the site, the police get an alert about a break-in at Jones Chemical, looking for a red cargo van. Connor asks Garrett to pay him and let him go, but Garrett says the job isn't done. Under a bridge, Garrett has the crew remove the logo and red covering from the van. The drone spots them, but the cops realize the color doesn't match and search elsewhere. Garrett takes the van to a garage, and asks Rhino to lead them to Sutcliffe, who can read minds. Rhino guides them to a secret passage to Sutcliffe's club. Inside the club, Wesley Cumbo, a representative of the trust, questions Sutcliffe about failing to meet payment obligations. Sutcliffe tries to explain why he hasn't paid, but Cumbo tells him to read Copperhead's mind. Sutcliffe claims Copperhead is thinking of harming him. Cumbo gives him a week to pay the trust. After Cumbo leaves, Garrett introduces Connor to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe reads Connor's mind and sees he could be useful. He tells Nia to show Connor around. Nia offers Connor a drink, but he declines, saying he's just passing through. Sutcliffe tells Garrett he can't pay for chemicals now, needing to settle with Cumbo first. Sutcliffe asks about Connor's powers, hoping to use him for a job. Garrett says Connor needs training. Sutcliffe tells Garrett to prepare Connor quickly for a lucrative job. Garrett drops off Connor, giving him $300 as a bonus. He advises him not to waste his talent. At home, Mary tells Connor she went back to the grocery store for her job. Connor criticizes her boss, but she says they need the money. At the club, Nia asks Sutcliffe for psych. He shows her a vial, but asks for a favor first. Officers Park and Davis investigate the chemical robbery. Park suspects an electric shorted the fence and a pyro broke the lock. The next day, Travis warns Connor to be careful with Sutcliffe's crew. The foreman looks for 2 electrics, but Connor chooses to go with Garrett. Garrett questions Connor's motivation, and he reveals it's for his mom's treatment. Garrett tests him, asking to sound a car alarm. He succeeds and learns he'll get $25,000 for the next heist. Garrett discovers Connor's dad, also an electric, got shot during a robbery. He realizes Connor's mom raised him without powers. Garrett starts training Connor, beginning with lighting a bulb, which he breaks on the first try. While preparing for the heist, Connor does various tasks for Garrett, including collecting payments from drug dealers. With practice, he learns to keep a bulb lit without breaking it. Garrett tests Connor's strength against another electric, who refuses to pay. Despite getting blasted with electricity, Connor takes him down with a stronger jolt. Garrett trains him to be more ruthless. One night, Connor visits Dave at the grocery store and threatens him. At home, he tells his mom he has a permanent job. Park and Davis, outside his house, observe and learn about his struggles to pay for his mom's medical bills. Park includes him on the list of persons of interest. The next day, Connor and Garrett visit a bank to plan a heist. Connor notes the security cameras and vault location. Garrett says they have 5 minutes to leave after triggering the alarm. At the grocery, Mary notices Dave's strange behavior. During the heist, Connor heads to the vault to disable the power. When the alarm sounds, they force an employee to open the vault manually. Garrett threatens her, but Connor tries to calm her down. Opening the vault, they find most of the money gone. They take what's left, but drones with guardians wait outside. Connor disables the drones, and they report to Sutcliffe, saying they only got $50,000. As Garrett and Sutcliffe argue about paying off the trust, Copperhead shoots Sutcliffe. Rhino shields him, and Copperhead aims at Nia. Connor blasts the gun away, and Copperhead attacks him with a knife. Rhino shoots her, ensuring she's dead. Later, Connor finds Nia getting high on psych. He asks why Cumbo's assassin targeted her, and she says it's not the first time someone has threatened her. Nia notices Connor's arm injury and heals it. She reveals the assassin attacked her because of her abilities, and explains she owes Sutcliffe. At home, Mary confronts Connor about the money in his drawer. He claims it's from overtime, but Mary calls his supposed job, and they don't know him. Connor explains turning to crime for money. Suddenly, Mary loses control of her abilities and collapses. At the hospital, the doctor says her tumor needs immediate surgery, but Connor can't afford it. Outside the hospital, Park and Davis wait for Connor, inviting him to the police station. They ask about the chemical plant and bank robberies, warning about working for Sutcliffe. Park offers help if Connor provides information. Davis insults Connor's dad, frustrating him. Connor denies involvement, and Park, skeptical, lets him go. Garrett picks up Connor, who swears he didn't talk to the police. Connor suggests a job for Sutcliffe. At the garage, Sutcliffe reads Connor's mind, confirming he didn't reveal anything. After hearing Connor's idea, Garrett suggests intercepting the police transporting $10 million worth of psych to the incineration site. Connor strikes a deal with Sutcliffe to hand over Nia in exchange for the psych, intending to use her healing powers on his mom. Nia gets upset and leaves. Garrett makes his own deal, asking Sutcliffe to consider him a partner. As they plan, Connor insists no law enforcement officer should be killed. He promises Nia freedom after she heals his mom, but she accuses him of only caring because she's a healer. On the heist day, they set up roadblocks, and watch for the armored van. Drones follow, but must retreat in a no-fly zone. The van takes a detour, and Garrett blocks it with a garbage truck. Connor blasts the van, knocking out the guardians. Garrett uses telekinesis to keep them down, and the crew disables the remaining robots. Maddie burns a hole for Freddy to drop tear gas. Cops exit, but the drone enters the no-fly zone. Maddie hands Psych to Rhino, who shoots her and leaves. Garrett, Freddy and Connor run, while the Guardians deal with Rhino's thugs. One thug shoots Garrett, but the Guardians kill them. Garrett and his crew escape, but Freddy is hit. Rhino shows Sutcliffe the Psych, ignoring Nia's questions. Sutcliffe hints that he won't let Nia leave due to her father's debt. Learning of Freddy's death, Connor blames Garrett, saying Sutcliffe betrayed them. At the police station, Davis implicates Connor in the heist, but Park sees him as a pawn. Connor visits his mom, promising treatment. Mary asks him to stop and let her go. Meanwhile, Park spends time with his daughter, Lena, who's scared because other kids fear her abilities. As they walk, Lena worries her parents might give her away. Travis delivers a message from Connor to Park, who meets him at a diner. Connor wants to help catch Sutcliffe before turning himself in. At the police station, officers prepare to capture Sutcliffe. At the bar, during a shootout, Sutcliffe escapes with Nia and Rhino. Garrett shoots Sutcliffe, and Rhino charges him. Garrett slows Rhino with telekinesis, and Connor arrives to electrocute him. Rhino grabs Connor, but Garrett stabs and electrocutes him, killing him. Nia takes Sutcliffe's gun, and Garrett forces him to his knees. Connor arrives, promising Nia freedom after healing his mom. Garrett gives Connor Sutcliffe's gun. Nia shows her arm wound from healing Connor, saying she might die if she treats his mom. Despite her objection, Connor takes her to the hospital at gunpoint, but stops, thinking of his mom. Connor tearfully says goodbye to Mary as she dies. Connor gives Nia his truck to leave the city, while Garrett hands Psych to Wesley, and takes over the drug trade. Connor visits his mom's grave, before going on the run, and Nia has a tearful visit with her father. The Powers ban is being voted on, and Park reluctantly accepts an award for the raid against Marcus. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.